I remember telling my father when I saw him lifting weights that I wanted to be a bodybuilder. It's probably in third grade, fourth grade. And I'm no, Ronnie Coleman, but there's definitely something there. I remember grinding almost every day in high school just for a shot, for an opportunity to go to a good school. I remember watching college admission reaction videos. I remember all of that stuff. Just anticipating, the day that hopefully I could, go to a school that I'm proud of, and that fits my intellectual capacity. I remember, I remember studying for job interviews night after night, very, very unsure about my future, and all that stuff is not a worry anymore. And the reason that it's not a worry is because I was able to prioritize myself, and my younger self wanted something. My younger self wanted something of my older self. And here, as my older self, I made my younger self proud. I made my younger self happy. And that's potentially one of the greatest reasons in the world. Nobody on this planet has more context about an individual than that individual themselves, right? So nobody truly knows what's going on in somebody's head except for that person. And for some people, they don't even know what's going on inside their own head. But from there, we know what our desires are, what our goals are. But I think for a lot of folks, there's a question of why, or why does this matter? Or there's a question of finding a reason, because anything worth having isn't necessarily the easiest thing in the world. I think doing it for your younger self is probably one of the best reasons that you can have for undertaking something new, for attempting and putting an honest, full faith effort towards wanting to change and wanting better for yourself. And the reason why it's so impactful, and the reason why it works so well, is because it's an homage to yourself. It's putting yourself first. I think we all have really, really fond memories of our childhood, right? When life was simpler, and when there is less, or when there was, like, objectively less to worry about. Our biggest problem was what we would eat for lunch, and if the school lunch was bad, And now, we all face our own internal and external challenges. But there's something very, very beautiful in that. And I think what I'm getting at is this idea that when we're kids and we want something, it's very direct. There's no ulterior motive to it. We have an innate desire for something. I remember wanting, to be a bodybuilder, because, I'd watch WWE all the time. I'd be like, wow, I want to look like John Cena, And obviously, I don't want to do that anymore. That guy takes a ton of performance-enhancing substances. But the point still stands that our desires and our wishes from our youth are very genuine. And they come from this inquisitive nature that we have from when we're kids, and they come from genuine desires that aren't, fluffed by our perception of the world. You know, whenever we want something when we're kids, we just want it. In a way, it's the rawest, purest form of ourselves, and that I think is beautiful. So I've continued to adopt, at least sometimes, this idea that if I don't want to do something, or if having some sort of pursuit is difficult, I gotta do it for my younger self, because my younger self was just a little kid who wanted to do stuff with his life, who had a vision, who one day was like, wow, it would be crazy to have XYZ, and now that I have XYZ, trying to make my younger self even happier.